Good evening and welcome to the 2025 Commencement Ceremony for North Muskegon High School. It is an incredible honor to sit here and celebrate the 90th graduating class. We will begin tonight by inviting Kendall Hibbard, Daughters of American Revolution Award recipient, to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Kendall. Welcome. We would first like to start with a special thank you to the following individuals seated with us on stage tonight: Dr. Kurt Babcock, Superintendent of Schools; Mrs. Ashley Westerland, K-12 Dean of Students; Mr. John Allen, Elementary Principal; Mr. Steve Bliss, Board of Education President; Ms. Carolyn Netto, Board of Education Vice President; Mrs. Lisa Winter, Board of Education Secretary; Mr. Ben Shear, Board of Education Treasurer, and Board of Education Trustees, Mrs. Susan Burmeister, Mrs. Kimberly Senkow, and Dr. Lisa Potts. There are a few others we'd also like to take a moment to recognize. First, Mrs. Dombrowski and Mrs. Ripstra. They are the ones that make all this magic happen, not only tonight, but throughout the school year. We really could not do it without them. Miss J, our incredible senior advisor who worked behind the scenes for this event and so many senior festivities this year. Junior ushers, Gabrielle Benedict, Isabella Fernaro, Caroline Lammerman, and Olivia Peterson. Deacon Anderson, Bear Brewer, CJ Bennett, and Mr. Henderson with technology, the entire Frohenthal staff and team, North Muskegon staff. We couldn't do this without you. And NM families and community, thank you for supporting our students and for all that you have given to help our students get here. We'd also like to take a moment to give special recognition to some incredible educators: Mr. Caraba, Mrs. Cobb, Mrs. Wahlberg, Mrs. Fortmeyer, Mrs. Belak, Mr. Cook, and Mrs. Gallo, as they welcome a new chapter in their life, retirement. We are so thankful for all that you have done for our students, our staff, and for the legacy that you leave. To help us begin tonight's ceremony, we welcome Mr. Ben Shear, Board of Education Treasurer, to the podium.
What an awesome venue. This is, thank you, Mrs. Schultz, for transferring us over here to the Frohenthal. We could be outside. Good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Schultz, for the introduction. To the proud parents, families, friends, dedicated staff and administration, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. What a privilege it is to stand before you tonight. For those who do not know me, my name is Ben Shear. I've had the honor of serving on the North Muskegon Public School Board for the past 4 years since 2021. Currently as your board treasurer. This isn't my first time at the podium. I had the pleasure of addressing the graduating class of 2021, which was a particularly special occasion for me, as my own son was amongst them. Just this past spring, I had the joy of witnessing his graduation from Michigan State University. Go Green. And it truly struck me Didn't mean to stir up controversy. And it truly struck me, as I know it does for so many of us, just quickly how those 4 years flew by. Graduates of 2025, as you look back on your high school journey, perhaps you're feeling a similar sentiment. As you embark on the exciting chapters ahead, filled with new milestones, you'll likely find that time seems to accelerate even further. My advice to you is this: embrace the present, enjoy this incredible moment of your graduation, value the bonds that you share with your friends, your family, and truly appreciate the journey that has led you to this day. Because today, your graduation is a culmination of small steps, dedicated efforts, and the support of your peers. Never forget how you arrived here, and let this empower you as you build your futures. To quote a class of 1986 North Muskegon graduate and inspiring motivational speaker, Mel Robbins, it's not the big moves that change everything. It's the smallest ones in your everyday life that do. So I stand here tonight filled with pride in our exceptional school, and overwhelming pride in each and every one of you. You are now and forever part of this remarkable institution, a legacy we are deeply committed to nurturing and strengthening for generations to come. Therefore, on behalf of the entire North Muskegon School Board, it is my distinct honor and pleasure officially welcoming you to the North Muskegon High School graduation ceremonies for the class of 2025. Congratulations, graduates, and as always, it's a great day to be a Norseman.
Thank you, Mr. Scheer. At this time, we invite our senior orchestra members to join the orchestra as they perform Overjoyed, directed by Mrs. Angela Corbin, and Runnin' Home to You, directed by Mrs. Angela Corbin and Mrs. Beth Slimko. Thank you, Mrs. Corbin and Mrs. Slimko. Today is the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and individual growth. Each of you have walked your own path to get here, overcoming challenges and celebrating triumphs. And as each of you sit here, getting ready for your next great adventure, I invite us all to think about something that can be incredibly impactful, something that often gets overlooked: the power of collaboration. In a world that can often seem to focus on amplifying differences, drawing lines in the sand, creating an us versus them mentality, focusing on solo journeys, highlighting individual achievements over group success, how can we forge a different path, encouraging collaboration to enhance our lives and to help us all be the best versions of ourselves? Look around you. You are here with your classmates, friends, family, loved ones. Over the years at North Muskegon, you haven't been alone. You've been a class, a team, a community. You've learned from each other, supported each other, and pushed each other to be better. You have experienced many successes, but were your victories truly yours alone? Was that winning goal scored by just one player, or was it the culmination of teamwork, passing, and defense? Was that complex project completed by a single mind, or was it the result of collaboration, diverse perspectives, and shared effort? They weren't individual victories. They were triumphs of collaboration. Tonight, through this commencement ceremony, we are gifted with one more opportunity of collaboration, a final shared experience. As we get ready to hear the words of some of our fellow Norsemen, I'd like to invite you all, students, educators, families, friends, guests, take a moment, pause, breathe, notice. This is your time, our time together. A time to reflect, a time to celebrate, a time to soak it all in. And one of my favorite times is when we get to hear our students speak. This class is extra special because so many of you I had the honor to have in kindergarten, in 5th grade, and then as your principal for the last 3 years. So when we get a little extra teary, it's legit. And I couldn't be more excited to invite our next guest speaker up, who I remember when he was this big. CJ Bennett, welcome to the podium.
Good evening, classmates, families, teachers, and administrators. It's an honor to speak on behalf of the class of 2025, and an even greater honor to be chosen by my classmates to speak tonight. I'd like to start by acknowledging the people who have helped me to get to where I am today. A special thanks to Mrs. Corbin, Mrs. Slimko, Mr. Henderson, and Mrs. Schultz for providing a place for my interest to grow. Everyone in this room has at least one person to thank for making them who they are today, and I encourage you to let them know. To the class of 2025, congratulations, we've made it. The past 13 years we've spent together have helped shape who we are and who we'll become. We've helped shape each other, for better or for worse. We'll never forget the time spent at NM, whether we were paying attention to the lesson or not. If spending 7 or more hours a day, 5 days a week, 41 weeks a year at North Muskegon has taught me anything, it's that working hard and pushing yourself through difficult things can teach you more than any curriculum. Whether it was the nights I stayed up editing videos, fixing cue sheets, or just trying to get something right, not because someone told me to, but because I couldn't walk away knowing it wasn't my best. Imagine if we had given up in Mr. Ripster's class after our popsicle stick roller coaster sent a ball straight into the wall. Those moments mattered. The effort we put in was never wasted. Working through challenges is so much more important than getting a good grade. It's about proving to yourself that you can do anything you put your mind to. It's about learning how to learn. It's about becoming who you want to become. We've all learned a lot in the classroom, otherwise we wouldn't be graduating. But we've learned so much more than just the lessons from textbooks. We've learned how to ask for help, how to bounce back from failure, and how to be the friend someone needed when everything was just too overwhelming. None of that shows up on a report card, but it's some of the most important stuff we'll take with us. The truth is, we don't know exactly what comes next. Some of us have a plan, some of us are figuring out a day at a time. But the skills we've learned, how to think, try, fail, and try again, will carry us no matter where we go. And then there's standardized testing. Those mornings we sat in rows, bubbling in answers to questions we'd forget hours later, hoping C really was the safest bet. We were told those scores mattered, that they somehow measured our potential. But looking back, none of us are going to be defined by how we did on the SAT, the PSAT, the MSTEP, or whatever acronym came next. Those tests didn't measure how hard we worked. They didn't measure how much we grew or who we'd become. They couldn't. So as we walk across the stage into whatever comes next, remember that your worth isn't found in your GPA, test scores, or how loudly anyone applauds. It's found in the effort you give when no one's watching, in the standards you set for yourself. We've already done hard things, not perfect, not always gracefully, but with persistence, humor, and heart. And that's what will carry us forward. Keep working hard, not for a grade or approval, but because you know you can, because you're building something that's yours. Congratulations, class of 2025. Let's become who we're meant to be. I now have the pleasure to introduce our next student speaker, Paige Ertman.
Thank you, CJ. Good evening. I'm honored to be speaking with you today at such a momentous milestone, and to have my class vote me to do so. Thank you to everyone who provided the endless support needed for each one of us to make it here. While I was ecstatic to be chosen, as with anything valuable, there were some trials and tribulations. When writing this speech, I struggled with starting it, which was closely followed by troubles over the message I wanted to portray. I debated between making the expected jokes about 6th grade camp, Mr. Slocum's mask breaks, pointless but anticipated life lessons, or shout-outs based upon the different awards each one of us achieved. While external motivators, such as good grades, trophies, award ceremony applauses, or peer and teacher praise, fed much of our high school successes, I believe the moments we'll look back on fondly will be the ones that were fueled through passion and internal motivators. The club you joined, not to enhance your future college application, but because you were passionate about its purpose, which for me was in my environmental club, shout out Mr. J, the state-required subject you paid attention to, not to keep your NHS status GPA, but because you are hopeful to find a future career in it. Or the friendships created after talking to someone because you found them interesting, not just higher than you on the social ladder. These are the things we each had our own unique experience with throughout school. But similarly, when reflecting back, our personally motivated moments will bring us each the experiences are the ones that will hold the highest impact on us as we move forward. The trend of prizes as an indication of success will continue in the future. However, they may transform from stellar grades to job titles, or from Instagram comments to likes from fellow Facebook moms. Oops. These extrinsic rewards will continue to be dangled in front of us, altering our true goals. They may change our authentic passions into those that will make us company manager or PTO mom of the week. But those rewards aren't what give our lives meaning. Our lives gain purpose when we dedicate ourselves to something we deeply care about, push ourselves towards excellence, and are still satisfied with our results, even if nobody else is clapping. Take the time to notice now, in this phase of our life, when we're all messily finding out what we care about most, and apply that to your future. Find a passion where you don't need a gold star to want to excel. Hold on to that. Allow it to evolve, and then proceed to grow with it. Change your major because of it. And know that when you are internally motivated, the conventional successes will follow suit, and they'll be all the more rewarding. The wish for a handheld or praiseworthy accomplishment will rob you of the journey's true value, a major cost. Although our paths all look different, with different colleges ahead, trade professions, or time set aside to work, everyone deserves to fulfill their life with a uniquely authentic passion. This is, like everything worthwhile, easier said than done. It goes against societal norms, maybe parental advice, or what's conveniently laid out in front of you, but it will be worth it. If you keep your goals reflective of your genuine self, you are choosing to allow your life to find boundless value. You're gifting yourself a lifelong fulfillment and a platform to be great. Class of 2025, I am so excited to watch you discover your state of utmost happiness and your fullest potential. Thank you for helping introduce me to mine. Now introducing Josephine Jojo Smith.
Thank you, Paige. I was chosen by my peers to speak this evening, and while usually I have a lot to say, I felt reluctant about this vote of confidence. I kept asking myself, what could I possibly say about our school, our town, or our world that hasn't already been said 100 times before? But that's exactly what I want to talk about. I didn't want to come up here just to say something, but instead because I have something to say. So often we silence ourselves before we've even had a chance to speak. We tell ourselves, what can just one person do? And with that mindset, change stops before it starts. But if history, big or small, has taught us anything, it's that the action of one person can spark something greater. And that spark can turn into a greater conversation that fuels the fire of an entire movement. Even if it helps just one person feel a little less alone, it matters. And tonight, I do have something to say. Growing up in North Muskegon, like many of you, I experienced the full spectrum of small-town life. Norse pride has been instilled in us. Positivity, respect, integrity, discipline, engagement. I love that I grew up in this tight-knit community, experiencing it with the same kids since kindergarten. But as I've gotten older, I've realized something else. Loving these special places doesn't mean they don't also have flaws. And loving them means being willing to speak up, not just about the good, but about the things we can do better. I'm grateful for my time here, from the egg drop in first grade with Miss Clark, to creating skits for sixth grade camp, to Friday night football games, with Carter chirping at the other team. These are memories I'll carry forever. But like many of you, I also carry painful memories, moments where I felt small, unheard, or unsure if I belonged. And I know I'm not alone in that. That's why I'm up here, not to list what's wrong with the world, but not to sugarcoat it either. I'd like to remind us all of the one thing each of us can do: speak up. There are moments when we as high schoolers tend to be pretty good at speaking up. When the design of the Powder Puff shirt is deemed uncool, or when the new cell phone policy is implemented, and definitely when the Taco Bell workers close the lobby after our home football games. But what about when you witness a kid getting laughed at for giving the wrong answer? What about when you hear a rumor you know isn't true about a classmate? What about when you see someone getting hurt? What about when you witness injustice? Your voice matters then most of all. Maybe you've seen it in your own life, a time that showed how voices, when combined, can no longer be ignored, and that when we speak up, we can change the world. Speaking up doesn't always guarantee change right away. And yes, it's scary. I get it. I'm scared too. My mom says I have the gift of gab. But when it comes to real issues, I sometimes don't have the words. But we don't have to be perfect to be powerful. We just need to be honest and brave enough to try. So, as I leave this class of 2025 and say goodbye to this place that helped shape me and brought me so many happy memories, I leave you with this: your voice matters. Use it. Remember, your voice can be powerful. Speak the truth, even when it shakes. Share your story, even when you feel small, especially when you feel small. Because what can just one person do? A lot. It just takes one little spark to light a fire. Thank you. Now introducing our next speaker, Jackson Bean.
Wow. This is truly a boatload of Norsemen. Wow. All right. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to thank all the friends and family in attendance tonight. This is truly an honor to be able to speak on an occasion of this nature and to be able to share this moment with all of you. Man, pretty crazy. We made it. I don't know how I pulled this one off. I don't know. I'd also like to thank all the teachers, coaches, and others that have helped me get here today. But last but not least, the ladies that kept me fed for the last 14 years. Big shout out to the lunch ladies, the unsung heroes of the school. I spent a lot of time thinking about what I want to talk about today. After numerous YouTube searches and hours of procrastination, I think I finally made it. We did indeed start from the very bottom. Now it looks like the whole team is here. Think about how far we have come, as a class and individually. Throughout the 14 years here at North Muskegon, we have been able to call this place our home. We have had great success as a class, in the classroom and on the playing field. We have had great seasons performed amongst all sports. From memorable Friday nights at Fred Jack's with the football team to intense competition with the quiz ball team. Yet all this success did not just happen overnight. Many early mornings and long nights balancing school, extracurriculars, and family. This class showed up every day, giving our all to assure ourselves that we have left the place better than we found it. One of our greatest accomplishments was by far winning the Powder Puff Championship this year. It was 4 years in the making. With all jokes aside, none of our success would have been possible without our perseverance and determination throughout the time we had. We were put into virtual classrooms for a year of our life and isolated from each other, but we still found a way to make it. The days felt long. almost as if there was never an end to what was happening, but we found a way. We also found other ways to make it fun. For me, it was sleeping through all my classes. I'm sorry, Mr. Crabble, this is my chance to finally apologize. I never thought I was gonna be able to take a math class from my own bed, but it was pretty awesome. All right, now I'd like to quote Tony Robbins. He said, "The path to success is to take a determined action. No matter what you do, sometime in life, you will face adversity. Whether that is a change of plans of something so important to you to also something so small. The soccer program, having to travel for practice for many years. Also, the baseball program, having to play away for 2 seasons without a home. Also, the tennis program, having to play on a court that has holes the size of craters. As you can see, we have all faced many challenges throughout our time here. Every lesson has shaped us into the people we are today. Each situation had come in many different ways, but we also found a way to keep pushing. Sometimes in life, we'll throw curveballs at you, but remember the perseverance that got you here in this moment. Embrace the challenges, learn from the setbacks, and never lose sight of your goals. Your journey is just the beginning. Just remember, with perseverance, you can achieve anything. Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Jen Schultz.
One more round of applause for our amazing student speakers. Graduates, you have the power to shape the future. You have intelligence, grit, passion, and the spirit to make an impactful difference. A difference by choosing unity over division, collaboration over competition, and curiosity over judgment. As you get ready for your next steps, carry with you the lessons learned at North Muskegon, not just the academic ones, but the lessons of community, empathy, working together, true collaboration. Listen more, talk less. Seek opportunities to work with others who think differently than you. Be open to new perspectives. Understand the importance of standing up, just like JoJo said, and also the importance of strength in standing together. Go forward and build a world where us versus them is replaced by we. A world where every individual's contribution is valued, where diverse voices are heard and respected, and where collective effort leads to extraordinary outcomes. Congratulations, class of 2025. You have left a lasting legacy in each of us. We are so honored to see you thrive. Individually amazing and collectively unstoppable. Senior choir members, please stand and join your choir. And at this time, you will enjoy our Norse singers under the direction of Mrs. Bess Limco as they perform the traditional Friends. Thank you, Mrs. Thumko. Something about that song gets my allergies going every time, guys. As we transition into the next portion of tonight's program, we're asking our audience to remember that this is a formal ceremony, and we're respectfully requesting that all of our audience members help us to support each graduate with our traditional Norse clap. This will allow each graduate to be recognized and all of our supporters to hear each name. As the principal of North Muskegon High School, it is my honor to certify that each and every member of the graduating class of 2025 receiving their diploma tonight have met the graduation requirements for the Board of Education and Michigan Department of Education. We will now present the diplomas to the class of 2025. Reading the graduate names this year is Senior Class President Kaylee Martin.
First row, please rise. Thomas J. Byard. Kelby Hay Miller. Mila Elizabeth Van Tol. Landon Angelo Miller. Jackson Edward Bean. Paige Lorraine Ertman. Maisie Lynn Lilu Hasty. Ruby Catherine Belmani. Jaden Michael Villapando. Thomas Michael Hogan. Zoe Alice Wiles. Kendall Christine Hibbard. Drew Nicholas Bartos. Josephine Olive Smith. Christopher James Bennett. Second row, please rise. Ella Nicole Caradonna. Noelia Figueroa. Jackson Montgomery Michael Edwards. Lucas Grant Dye. Emma Grace Persicki. Elena Alexandra Cordell. Henry Allen Hoosman. Avery Jean Moat. Jordan Marie Metz. Lucas John Hall. Oliver James Chumley Jarvis. Tristan Lee Thomas. Chase Blake Stockman. Leah Mie Poulin. Micah James Leffering. Avery Dawn Lynn. Third row, please rise. Jack Curtis Bahorski. Mia Marie Perez. Owen Patrick Booth. Autumn Lynn Davies. Avery Lynn Erickson. Connor Michael Crawford. Alec Leroy Peterson. Gabrielle Elizabeth Jones. Marco Garcia. Ali Lakeith Daquan Hendricks. Maximus Anthony Lasser. Zakiah Renee Norwood. Paige Ryan Slayton. Emily May Crayley. Carter Joseph Mueller. McKenna Joe Mylenick. Fourth row, please rise. Harper Lauren West Richards. Braden Timothy Chase. Eleanor Magnolia Lichtman. Skylar Lee Marie Wright. Zachary David Rumley. Sebastian Allen Tanner. Logan J. Stack. Cooper Allen Mallory. Jolie Ray Fellows. Matthew Lurchatanoncan. Apolline Pesto Ballier. Caitlin Elizabeth Wright. Donovan Pavel Porter. Logan James Dawson. Patrick James Casey. Sam Aiden Andrew Topping. Fifth row, please rise. Tiana Layton West. Luke Arthur Toby. Jessica Elizabeth Bogue. Cole Andrew Blastic. Hunter Daniel Lawrence Solberg. Bryson Abigail Jane Bamberg. Austin Bradley Pike. Devin James Porter. Charles Lewis Myers.
It's now my privilege to announce our final graduate of the evening, Class President Kaylee Diane Martin. Okay, get everybody back. Class of 2025, please stand. And Kaylee will now lead her class in the symbolic changing of the tassel. As Superintendent of Schools, I am pleased to accept the certification of requirements and recognize the class of 2025 as duly prepared to receive their diplomas for graduation from North Muskegon High School. Mr. Steve Bliss, Board of Education President, and members of North Muskegon School Board, it is with great pleasure and pride that I accept this class, the senior class of 2025, as having completed all necessary requirements for graduation and do now officially pronounce them the newest alumni of North Muskegon High School. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.